Welcome to Love and Entrepreneurship. I'm Lisa, the boss lady.
And I'm Chef Square Alan Phillips.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, entrepreneurs. I know that Sunday is usually a day that we chill out and we rest and relax. So that was the day that we chose to bring this to you for that reason. Today we have special guests, our first guest on air, Pastor and First Lady Dent. Super, super excited to bring them on. Welcome to Love and Entrepreneurship. How are you this Sunday?
Awesome. How are you guys?
Awesome.
Can't complain at all.
Absolutely. Tell our guests how long you guys have been married.
Well, like she said, we are Chris and Ronnie Dent. We have been married now almost 27 years, together 31 years.
Yes, people don't do that much anymore.
I know.
That is amazing. I love to see that. That definitely gives me hope. So what businesses do both of you possess? Do you have separate businesses or all of your businesses together?
All of our businesses are together. We have a tax business, we have a travel business, and we also have a credit business where it deals with financial literacy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. I know we did speak about the financial literacy business, and I know we share the travel business. We're a sideline business partner. But oh my goodness, I'm definitely going to talk with you more about that financial services business, because it sounds like it's a lot of good information, that anybody running a business should have.
Definitely.
Do you want to?
Yeah, it really is a good business. When a lot of times, people don't realize how important credit is until they're ready to buy something. And then if they're starting a business or going into entrepreneurship, they don't even know anything about the business side of credit. And so what we do is, we teach them how to establish, their business credit, how to establish LLCs, trademarks, and stuff like that. So it's been an amazing journey for us, just to see how people are really enjoying the fruits of our labor, as far as teaching them, on entrepreneurship, on getting their personal credit right, as well as their business credit. And then too, once you make that money, what are you going to do with it? We teach you not to just spend it, but now it's time to look at 401ks. It's time to look at investments and stuff like that. So that's why we call it financial literacy.
Absolutely, because you know what we do when we get money, we go out there and get more bills. That's exactly what we do.
I could not understand that to save my life. People do it a whole lot.
Sometimes that's because we don't know. A lot of times, if we weren't brought up in a family who knew about financial literacy, all they knew was to go and purchase. For example, my mom is almost 74, 75, and it really blew me away. For not too long ago, we were talking about just having to have a conversation about saving money. She was like, "Well, how do you save money?" And we were just like, so it's what we've been taught. So now in this generation, even if we may have raised our children we can pour into our grandchildren and allow them to realize that now at your age, whether it's 6, 7 and up, you can start your own business. Like even my granddaughter getting ready to start a lip gloss line at the age of 9. We're teaching them now to be entrepreneurs so they know you keep trying, you may fail, that's okay, but you keep going.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's good.
Right.
That's good. Absolutely. And I mean, I'm super interested in, in this financial business because like you said, that is the majority of it is that we don't know. We don't know, these things that we need to know is important. And sometimes I don't ever feel like it's too late to learn something. I'm 40, I'll be 42 on Saturday. And I don't feel like, being financially literate, being, entrepreneurial. I don't think that it's too late to do something like that. One time, of course, I'm very unorthodox. And I'm unorthodox in how I do most of my things, including raising my children. And my son, all of my brats are spoiled. Every last one of them. Okay. But my son, he was super spoiled and I only have one. And so he was about 16 and he was like just super spoiled. And one of my friends told me, it's too late for you to get him in line. Well, he's 20 and he's doing great.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like it was too late, to get anything together. But I do believe what you said is absolutely true. If we've already gotten set in our ways, sometimes that mindset is hard to change. So you start pouring into your children. And when you start pouring into your grandchildren. And it's super important. We were raised to go to school, go to college, get a good job, retire. And that was great for back then. But now,
well,
it's much different. You made a valid point when you said we don't know, and you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
and as long as we've been in business, when we found this financial opportunity and this new business that we started, we didn't know a lot of things. Right? We know how to get our LLC. We knew the very minimum things, but once we connected and really found out that even working a W-2 job, there's about 90% of Americans that have a W-2 have filled out their W-4 wrong. So they're paying all of this money,
oh goodness,
back to the government, the IRS, right? And we don't have any W-2 jobs anymore, but our kids do.
right.
And I went through the W-4 training just to show my son how it works. And guess what? He was sending almost $200 a month to the IRS that could have been in his paycheck each week.
92 is a big number. That is a big number. Yeah, I'm gonna need that W-4 training. I am a part of corporate America. I'm in the medical field and I love what I do, which is why I'm still a part of corporate America, but I'm going to need that training because I want to know, it's already hard enough to get the money back from the IRS that is owed to us. I don't want to give them anything extra.
Absolutely.
So my next question.
Hold on, before we get to a question, can we hit a good commercial break?
Absolutely. So my next question, once we come back from the commercial break, is how do you manage to make time for each other in between all of your businesses? And we will have that answer right after this break.
If you're looking for healthy meal prep, family-style meals, or catering for your next event, look no further than the East Traveling Square Kitchen with Chef Square, Alan Phillips, specializing in soul food, family-style dining, and southern flavor. Chef Square can adhere to dietary needs like keto and bariatric meal prep without compromising on taste. Take advantage of weekly meal plans like the Starter Pack, 5 meals for $75 with 3 entree choices. Additional meal plans and contact-free delivery is available. Contact Chef Square of the East Traveling Square Kitchen today at 832-495-8836 and tell them Stunner Radio sent you. Stunner Radio.
All right, and we're back. So the question that was posed was, how do you manage your time between your businesses and your significant other?
Man, that is a big question and a great question. We schedule it, believe it or not. We are very busy running our businesses. We are very family oriented. So we play a huge part in our grandchildren's lives because the way we work, some of the things that we missed were activities of our children. So now, being entrepreneurs, we have that freedom to actually go and support and be a part of their lives. However, everything has to be scheduled. And if you don't schedule it, things can go haywire. There can be miscommunication. Um, One or the other can feel like they're being neglected. So you have to schedule it and communicate.
Also, we took the approach of a 40-hour a week job. You know, when you go to work, you have a start time, you have a break time, you have a lunch time, you have another break time, but then you're getting off work, right? And so what we do is we schedule our date nights, right? Every so often we have our date night, but then also, hey, we have short breaks where we would take a break from, you know, what we're doing, or if we're in the middle of shifting to one of the other businesses to start that business, then we'll have that time to where, you know, we'll sit down together, we'll eat our lunch together. You know, we'll say, hey, it's time to, you know, we even have our little workout session right in the middle of that, and all of that is a part of us time.
Mhm.
You know, all of that is part of us time. People used to say, you know, I can't work with my wife, you know, at work. You know, it's just not going to work. You know, she'll get on my nerves, I'll get on her nerves. But it's been a pleasure to really build the empire, the Dent empire, with my lovely wife.
Also, we sneak a little flirty things in there, like tapping each other on the rear ends, sneaking a little kisses, still making it fun.
You should have seen what we did on the break.
That is important. That is really good. I really appreciate that, you know, the fact that you said that. That is absolutely true. You know, I have to have my outside of the house time because I'm a social butterfly. I have to have that time. So we don't do the working together thing, but I think that also helps us miss each other. So like literally in the morning time when I go to work, that's my quiet time. And when I go to lunch, that's our phone call. My whole way home, that's our phone call. And then when I come home, we eat dinner together. And he's a chef, so usually he has cooked dinner, and so we eat dinner together every day. That's our thing. And then we have a couple of TV shows that we watch together.
Right.
And but what you did give me an idea about the working out together, because I do want to, you know, start incorporating that into our daily thing. And I'm thinking, even if we just take a walk for 30 minutes after dinner, you know, I think that would be a good thing.
I want to train her in MMA.
You sure you want to do that?
Well,
that's what I said.
The reason being is because actually, if you look at some of the strength and conditioning exercise routines and workout regimens that a lot of the UFC fighters use and have, it's actually a very good workout. It's a total body workout, and it is designed to burn fat.
Definitely.
So, I mean, if you can make yourself dangerous as well as work out and look good while you're doing it,
right? But
I mean,
fun.
hey,
it's also fun.
But it's really fun. But I'm not gonna. But it takes a level of dedication.
Oh my goodness.
I used to train MMA, and so, I was in the military, and I'm a 9/11 vet. So, you know, I kind of got into the MMA with a lot of the training that we had to do anyway. So I got into MMA early, right before it really took big, and so I just, I just do what I did, and it actually, really cut my body fat down, as well as be able to run and get some good cardio in there. So
the reason I said you sure you want to do that is because one, women catch on fast, and when Lisa catch on to those moves in MMA, and then y'all have a situation that arise at the house, she gonna put one of them moves on you, brother.
Bruh.
We never argue.
First off, we never argue.
Ever.
But I will say this. In the event I train her to do this, she better have her cardio game right.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
You're not going to catch me.
You're not going to catch me. What you mean?
I'm going to run.
I'm running.
That's good. How long have you guys been married?
Kim said he's gonna scrap them. We have been married for 1 year in November.
Okay. Awesome.
So our next question. So what would you suggest for a couple that wants to, be entrepreneurial and have a long-lasting relationship, definitely a long-lasting marriage? What would you suggest?
Well, the first thing I would say, definitely constantly communicate about the good, the bad, the ugly, the uncomfortable. I mean, literally, sometimes with counseling, we hear a lot that one spouse or the other spouse does not feel comfortable sharing certain things. Well, at first, when we got married, we weren't like that. So, we had to gradually grow into that. But doing that, we can say now that is important to do, because as you grow together, you change. And a lot of people miss the changing portion of growing together. We hear a lot of people say, well, I'm the same person I was when we got married, so I don't understand. Well, rewind that. If you're the same person you were when you got married, then a couple things. You haven't grown.
That's one.
You haven't grown. You haven't taken the time to learn your partner, right? When we got married, my favorite color was red. My favorite color now is orange and coral. And if he was not paying attention to me, if we weren't communicating, he would have missed that and bring me red shirts, red roses, when it's like, I no longer like that. So you have to take the time to learn your partner and accept the fact that they are changing and grow with that change.
I would also add to that, or just capitalize on what my wife said when she's talking about communication. I would say have courageous conversations. Courageous conversation. That's the stuff that we don't like to talk about. We sweep the rug. And the only way that you're really going to be able to, build that relationship with your wife or husband is to have those courageous conversations. But also, if you want to work together, if you want to build a business together, you got to also set expectations, right? There's some do's and there's some don'ts when it comes to building a business together. You can't bring a disagreement into the business setting, right? You have to be able to compartmentalize those things and then be able to go back and pick those things up at the proper time, so you can keep that line of communication open. Because if a person is constantly having an issue with each other and they're trying to do the business, now every little thing that's said, that's done, is going to be an issue, right? Versus having that courageous conversation, setting those expectations, and then leaving room for error and correction.
Let me give you an example of how courageous the conversation is. When I was working out of the home, we would have conversations like this. I may be out somewhere and a guy's trying to holler at me, and we can keep it real on here, right?
Keep it real. We want it 100% real. Yes.
A guy would be trying to holler at me, and I would give my husband a call or a text and say, you won't believe how lame this pickup was, this pickup line was. You believe he had the nerve to say this to me? I mean, and again, we had to learn this, but when your partner literally is your best friend, then you should be able to respect each other's thoughts and how they're feeling so you guys can work through it.
And
That's
let me
good.
And let me share. In the beginning, when we first started, she couldn't come to me and tell, because I'm ready to go find this guy, right? As time grew, I'm like, what do I have to worry about? I'm content with who I am, and I know I take care of her like a queen. So now we have to have those courageous conversations, and then she'll call, and now it's so funny now.
It is funny.
Because she'll call me and be like, babe, guess what? And I was like, what'd he say? or and then I'll be like, wow, these corny games is crazy, right? They're coming with these corny comments and all of this other stuff.
Can I say one more thing before you go to the next one? For the ladies, if he sees or we see another young lady, I'm not tripping if he looks. For one, if he's looking, so am I. Nothing funny about it, but we are visual, okay? And just because he looks don't mean he doesn't, that doesn't mean he wants her. It's been times we see outfit, babe, I could see you in an outfit like that. Babe, do you like those type of shoes? What do you think about that hairstyle? So that's how we communicate, and that's how it works.
Absolutely.
Right.
I love that.
I always have said with me and my wife is that if we maintain the sanctity of the relationship and build off the genuine friendship that we had, then everything would blossom. And actually what happened is it evolved and it changed and it grew closer, it grew tighter as we began being more in sync. And then those conversations, those courageous conversations, as you put it, they weren't so courageous because it became a natural part of what we did.
So natural.
And so then it was at that particular point, it's let's bring it to the table.
Absolutely.
Whatever, and that's how I say it. What we do, we're gonna bring it to the table. We're gonna sit it on the table. We're gonna deal with it. Once we deal with it, we leave it at the table. Once we get all parties' points across, we have a mutual understanding on what the other was trying to say. We have those time to actually we'll have a conversation. Then we'll have a breakdown session of the conversation. Just in case, hey, maybe you didn't catch it the way that I said it. Maybe I said it wrong. Maybe I need to go into detail. Just those nuances. And we have an understanding where we can come to the table and we can leave it there. And then we'll have a conversation about the conversation to break it down into more depth and in more detail. But I'm going to tell you one thing about a man, and a man knows this better than anything. No man wants something that another man don't want.
That's
let that be, and I will purposely walk away from her and watch guys look and turn. I'll be laughing.
I'm oblivious. I don't even see anything, and he's like, "Yeah, I saw it. I saw what he looked at. I saw the look in his eye, and I'm like, I didn't see any of that. I could be having a conversation with someone, and he could see a look in their eye, and I didn't see any of that."
Right, but you know what? But two sets of eyes are always better. The one thing I like about it is because I'm the same way. I can carry on the conversation, be oblivious. She'll come back and be like, "Okay, you can't mess with her no more."
And it's not a fact of it's not me being insecure or me not trusting him. I wouldn't trust them. That's my issue. And I feel that as we're growing our relationship, toxic relationships just don't have room.
Mhm.
They just don't have room here. If you don't have the proper respect for a person and their wife, then that's a toxic relationship. And there's no room for that. I want to go back to some of the things that someone said. Definitely going to hashtag courageous conversations. That is a hashtag that's going forward.
Oh,
that
yes.
is, and we're going to let you be the author of that one.
Yes, definitely going to be the author of that one.
Because that is absolutely true. You do have to have those courageous conversations. Kimberly Green says, I'm single, and man, this is a word. It is definitely, you guys are definitely giving us a word, but I knew you would.
Definitely.
So I already knew you were going to come true to form. Kimberly Green says, first of all, we're not dead, we're human. And that's absolutely true. We are all going to look, and I'm nosy. I mean, nosy human. I am going to look and I'm going to see.
Now the funny part about it is when she picks it out and she brings it to your attention and you're like, huh? I didn't even see.
Absolutely. And I'm the same way. It's not an insecurity thing. And he's not insecure when he tells me, well, I saw the look in his eye. He wanted you. And he's not insecure at all. And when I'm coming to him and speaking with him about something, I'm not insecure. I have to remember that I'm speaking to my husband because girl, guess what? and he doesn't get mad anymore because of the fact that we're just that open that I feel like I'm talking to another girlfriend, when I'm speaking with him. And I definitely think that is key. And I'm super, super happy with the tips that you guys have given us.
Ooh, now that is a good question.
Stunner wants to know, how do you balance your relationship and ministry? I want to know
what the first way we balance our relationship and ministry is remembering who our first ministry is.
Okay.
God is always the head. Always, always, always. And I'm about to ruffle some feathers. I know this, but it's spouse, children, church.
You're right.
My husband is my first ministry. I am his help meet. We cover each other. So we have to minister to each other first. I can't, and ruffling some more feathers, I can't be and spend every minute at the church or doing ministry or ministering to other people, and he's lacking.
Absolutely.
That's not true ministry. And once we understand the true ministry and the order, then relationships will be much better and fall more so into place.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Miriam says, amen. I absolutely agree with that 1000%. And I know that there's a lot of controversy going on about the order. That is my kids come first. My kids come first. You can get another husband, blah, blah, blah. But I was raised, and I hope I'm not ruffling any feathers, but I think it speaks to the upbringing. And I have that. I agree with you, but my parents are still married and still together, and his as well. And I believe that has a lot to do with why we believe those things.
Well, actually, I seen it as a child. I was with my grandparents. My grandfather, once he came home, he sat at the dining room table. When he sat at the dining room table, my grandmother was almost instantaneously, if she did not have his plate already fixed, was finishing up the finishing touches to his plate and brought his plate to him. He sat at the dining room table. They sat at the dining room table. They ate dinner and they discussed the day at that particular point in time. This structure has dissipated. And that's something that was very important. Now, my grandmother, president of the mission, my grandfather, chairman of the deacon board. So they were very, very active in church and in ministry in general. And so just to see them, even for whatever went throughout the day, for them to have that decompressed time is where I learned having that for me and my wife.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kimberly says, God, spouse, then children. Amen. Miriam says, yes, ma'am. Tell them first lady. And Miriam also said that's words. That's word. It should not ruffle feathers. That's God's word. I say it's written, and that is absolutely correct. And I definitely, when I see people disputing that order, it's mostly the younger generation, and I just chalk it up to it not being passed down by the older, generation, because that's how we were raised. And I also think that contribute. That's a different conversation, but I think that's contributing to how entitled these children are these days.
But you know what?
I'll also add to that and say that even some of the older generation get it twisted and get it mixed up because they're trying to hurry up and find someone to love them,
right?
And they don't love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor, right? And it's our job as men to go out there and find our rib. The rib was taken from man's side and made woman, right? So each man is missing a rib. So it's our job as men to go and find our right rib, the right rib that fit us. Okay. And once we find that rib, now we obtain favor, right? Favor is not just sex, right? But favor is the intellect that my wife, the part that I'm missing that she completes me. That's the favor that we obtain.
Right.
A lot of people get it mixed up and try to use that as a weapon for the wife and say, you need to lay down, you need to give me sex, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, it's okay for a married couple in Christ, right? A married couple to be freaky with each other. But that's not all to it.
Right.
More to that, right? We have to stimulate each other's mind.
Absolutely. And that is the key. Kimberly Green says if a person does those things for her husband, it's because she actually likes the person. It's not her job. She wants to serve that plate. That is absolutely correct.
Well, hold up. Now, I want to chime in on a little something because you were right. But what a lot of people don't really realize, and what a lot of men don't realize, is it is our job to make it easy for our wives to be submissive.
Oh, that's right.
Whether or not it is in mind or body. Because in any event, once you bring it to God, and once you get into the divine sanctity of what is supposed to be a marriage, a woman is to be submissive, but it is supposed to be orchestrated submissiveness. If you can't, because men, we were charged to till the ground. So if we can't lay the groundwork for our wife to be submissive, then we can't expect her to be as submissive or the divine submissiveness that she can really obtain, especially if she has a relationship with God.
Ooh, that is a word.
That's true.
A lot of men that, I want a woman to submit. A woman will naturally submit when her man leads properly. That Absolutely. Is a fact. A lot of women, they haven't submitted because they cannot. They're not allowed. I was that woman for a long time. I want to submit, but I can't because I have to be the leader. I have to be the breadwinner. I have to be all of those things. I can't submit to you if I'm those things. So I believe that's just a big word. Everybody needs to understand the natural order of things. Submit yourselves to each other. That is what I read. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And that's the word of God.
We are going to come back after this break with what ideas would you suggest on how to do things differently when you started out, right after this.
This show was sponsored in part by Houston's own multimedia mogul, Lisa the Boss Lady, motivational speaker, travel agent, sales consultant for Bye Bye Belly, Bedroom Candy, and Candy Coated Cosmetics, and coming soon, the co-host of the hot new talk show, Love and Entrepreneurship. If you're looking to start a business or you just need some inspiration, contact Lisa the Boss Lady. It's time to boss up in 2021. Follow her on Facebook and Instagram at Lisa the Boss Lady, or visit her website, lisathebosslady.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Yes, thank you so much for sticking with us through that break. Miriam says, yeah, I'm not submitting if I have to wear the skirt and the pants. That is absolutely true. So we want to go back to that question. What ideas would you have for how to do things differently for yourself, starting out being balancing your entrepreneurship and your love?
I would say what I would have done differently is read more books, become more knowledgeable, read more relationship books, and read in the Bible the order of family and entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is all through the Bible. That way I would be more knowledgeable, and I think some of the mistakes that I've made, I would not have made them, because at least I had an idea of how it would be once I crossed or got to that road to cross it.
That's good.
I would say I wish I had known I wish I'd known now what I knew back then. And what I'm saying is, back then I did a lot of things by cash and not by credit, you know. And so I had a lot of wasted money. I thought that, you know, these big, holidays, you know, Christmas or Valentine's Day, I had to make these big purchases. So I was buying my wife cars for Valentine's Day. Like that just didn't make now that just didn't make sense, right? And so I would do, you know, those things differently and obtain my credit, and not only obtain my credit, but also build my business credit and let my business credit and my money begin to work for me on my behalf instead of working for my money.
Yes. That's good. That is good. That is the best advice ever. We really, really appreciate all your tips. You know, I've learned a couple of things, and I'm definitely going to apply them. My favorite thing is when you said you schedule your activities, and I am big on scheduling, but I'm bad on going by what I schedule. So I allow things that come up at the last minute to just, you know, to deter me from my schedule. And so I'm working on that, but I definitely am going to take that advice and schedule some things. So tell our guests where they can find you.
Oh, well, they can find me on Facebook, Ronniee Dent. They can find me on IG at Always a Lady. And I want to say, I am key on us as women. I'm big on couples, because my husband and I, we counsel. We love to see couples win, but big on women and young ladies in etiquette. So many, because they don't know, so many of us women think it's okay to do certain things, especially certain times, to wear certain things. And it's not like we have to have our skirts to the floor or all that. That's not that. But proper etiquette is correct. Proper etiquette will make a woman classy and sophisticated. So people will see a lot of that on our page, my page, but our page, because he actually is an advocate for that, men being men.
But proper etiquette is also sexy.
You know, and I think that's it's something that's getting lost, you know, with the generations. You know, a lot of children don't even know what etiquette is. My children don't know. When I say etiquette to them, they don't know what it is. They only know what I ingrained in them, which is etiquette. They don't know that that's what it's called, you know. And the things that I have ingrained into my children is looked upon as foreign, you know. Like one girl was trying to fight my daughter over some nappy-headed little boy, and my daughter was like, I'm not gonna fight you, and the little girl was like, you're scary. And she was like, no, my mama said ladies don't fight. You know. And to them, they didn't understand that they thought, oh, she's scary, you know. And my daughter she's definitely not scary. She's a little more bold than I am, but that's just something that a lot of the other children, they weren't taught those things. And I think it's important that you do keep teaching that, keep stressing that, keep showing, you know, other ladies how to, you know, be an example of that. And it is good, you know, Pastor Dent, that you let ladies know that that is sexy, that men like that. Men want to see that. They don't want to see, you know, the opposite of that.
Well, you know what? But but you just hit the nail on the head. There's a difference in between girls and women.
That too.
That's true.
That too.
You know, we're talking about grown women versus little girls. And when a man sees a grown woman, you know what time it is.
Absolutely. And when you're speaking to etiquette, when you carry yourself a certain way, a man knows how to approach you, and you're setting that standard, and you're not speaking it, but you're setting it, and they know how to, they're going to get right or they're going to get left. And that's, you know, as simple as that. When you set that standard and you adhere to it, people know how to handle you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kimberly said, head to toe and still be the sexiest person in the room. Absolutely. You don't have to show to, you know, to be sexy. Michelle Obama, she had the trench coat and everything on, and that was so fly. Confidence is sexy. That's swag. That's swag.
That's right. You can also find me on Facebook, Christopher Dent Senior, for short, SR, or on Instagram at Chris Dent Senior. You can also visit our travel page at bosscoupletravel.com.
Okay, boss couple, I like that. You know, boss lady likes that. And so we're super excited that you guys were our first guest. You gave us several good words, and we really appreciate all the knowledge that you had to offer. We definitely hope that you'll come back again. We are going to give out our homework. If you want to stick with us while we give out our homework, the homework for this week, what did you say?
The homework for this week is schedule a staycation for your spouse. And just a weekend getaway. You don't have to go out of town. You don't have to spend a bunch of money, but just go get a hotel room for a night or two, have fun, enjoy each other's company, have the conversations that need to be had, and just live.
Just you and the spouse?
Yeah, just you and the spouse.
Just you and the spouse. That's your homework. Your homework this week is have a staycation. Go to somewhere, just you and your spouse, and make that your homework. If you are wanting to show us where you went, give us some ideas, then definitely take a picture with your spouse and put it on the Love and Entrepreneurship page, so that we can see where you went. If you don't want to show us where you went, that's okay too, because it's okay to fall off the radar. Sometimes it's important to fall off the radar.
Yes, it very much is.
Are there any singles that watch this?
There are singles that watch this. I'm so glad you asked that. We are going to do a singles event for entrepreneurs. It's going to be entrepreneur speed dating for entrepreneurs that are looking to date.
Well, let me just pour into the singles right quick. Singles, if you're watching this or if you come across this, know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, whether you're female or male, right? You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Love yourself, right? Don't rush into another relationship. You want to be whole, not just healed. Okay, it's one thing to be healed, but it's another thing to be healed and whole. Prime example: if you scrape your leg or your arm, okay, it hurts when you first scrape it, and this is going to be analogy to relationships, right? It hurts when you scrape it. As time go on, it builds a scab on it. Now, the scab eventually, covers the actual sore itself. Okay. A lot of people, after they break up, they get themselves to a place of heal where okay, I'm over him or over her. But then they go out and go right into another relationship. And now something happens and it opens up that scar. Now, what happens when you open up a real scar that, whether it's your leg or your arm, right? It begins to burn. It begins to bleed. It begins to hurt all over again. The same areas, the same pain you have now endured, right? But if you stay fast, not only heal, but be made whole. So now, if you take care of that sore properly, that scab is going to cover the sore, right? And then eventually, that scab is going to disappear. Now, the scar may be there, but you won't feel no more pain. So now you're not just healed, but now you're healed and made whole, right? And so now, when you go into the relationship, when you go into another relationship, you may have the scar from the previous relationship. That's just a reminder to let you know what not to do, what not to get into, what not to allow him to do or her to do to you, right? But now you can love that person complete and whole because you are complete and whole and you love yourself first.
That's good. Kimberly says whole. Yes. Miriam says, tell them, Pastor, it's okay to be single. You got another hashtag, healed and whole. so you got the hashtags going today.
Yes,
one more hashtag, blossoming. Kimberly Green says blossoming. And that's absolutely true. You came with a word today, Pastor, and we are so appreciated. We're so appreciative, and we are so receiving this word.
Thank you so much.
Super excited for you guys. I'm glad that you guys came here, and we definitely hope to have you on again. So one more question. So you do counseling as well?
We do.
That is amazing. So tell them one more time how they can get in touch with you.
They can get in touch with me, Ronniee Dent, on Facebook, and Always a Lady on IG.
Or you can get in touch with me, Christopher Dent Sr. on Facebook, or Chris Dent Sr. on Instagram.
That is so good.
You can inbox us, and we'll be more than happy to set up some time aside and see what it is that you need help with.
Amazing. Thank you so much for everything that you've offered, not just to relationships, but to the singles. You brought us a whole word on both fronts. Really appreciate that.
Definitely.
Thank you for all our guests. Thank you for tuning in to Love and Entrepreneurship. Happy Sunday, everybody. Be safe and remember your homework. Book a staycation. So, Pastor, First Lady, do your homework.
Okay.
You got it.
Yes.
Just don't set the bar too high for me that I got,
We using wisdom in this season. That's a whole nother message.
My favorite holiday is Valentine's. So when you said I was buying my wife cars for Valentine's, I'm immediately like.
That's when I was making the wrong decisions.
I don't like those things. I don't. I'm very simple. Very simple.
I'm simple too, but I enjoyed the car.
Absolutely. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you so much for tuning in. And that is Love and Entrepreneurship.
Yes, we're excited. Thank you.
Are you
Yay.
looking for a fun and exciting night out with great food, entertainment, and daiquiris? Look no further than Daiquiri Soul, Houston's premier daiquiri shop, restaurant, and more, located in the Northwood Village Center at 355 Greens Road in Houston, Texas. If you love a good daiquiri and enjoy a variety of flavors, this is the place for you. Offering Creole, Cajun, and Southern cuisine with nightly live entertainment and friendly customer service. Social distancing and COVID-19 protocols are in place. So surrender all your cares and let Daiquiri Soul whisk you away with their Southern hospitality. For more information, visit Daiquiri Soul on Facebook or place an order through Grubhub. Stop by Daiquiri Soul today and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.